Is it time to reveal your real magic and become seen, known, and valued? Hello, and welcome to today's Visionary Voices Deep Dive. And today we are talking about creating magic boxes. And hi, if we haven't met before, nice to meet you. I'm Rena Aiken, and I'm a visibility mentor for visionary leaders, which is coaches, creatives, healers, consultants, those who are here with a vision to make a difference in the world, to support you to really step into the next level of your visibility and bring your magic, your wisdom, and your flow into the world. So if you're watching me, drop in a comment, say hi. If you're watching the replay, put in replay. And I'd love to hear your experience about what we're talking about today. So what do I mean by magic boxes? What are they and how do you create them? So this is, you may have heard about creating from feminine energies or masculine energies. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. And I know a lot of people in my community are like me, and you love to create from your inspired feminine flow and really connect with your inner knowing, your guidance, your soul's purpose, and that's your magic, and create in that and be in flow. And I know there might be some of you also either now or in the past, I also find it really valuable to create with more masculine energies of structure and focus and consistency. Is really valuable to have masculine energies. But what happens when, sometimes you can be more structured and lose the magic, or because you love connecting with your magic and your energy, you might be a bit resistant to some of the more structures that help you show up and create what you want to create. So what we're talking about today is what happens when you bring these two energies together and into harmony so that you're actually co-creating. So each of these energies is supporting the other one. And then you're dancing between, is having a clear and maybe scheduled space, clear space where you can show up and bring your magic, your inner knowing, your creativity. And, let me know what would shift for you in your life, in your business, if you could create blocks of time, because that's what I mean by the boxes, blocks of time in your calendar that actually supported you and activated your intuitive knowing and your magic. So I'd love to hear what would be possible for you and what would shift for you if you had a calendar with blocks of time. These are the magic boxes where you can show up at that time, whether it's just for yourself or in a health space with others, and bring your magic to whatever it is you're focusing on at that time. Because the magic box is, I see it as a box with magic coming in. So it's a box that the magic can come into and be created inside. So, and it's a held space, whether you're holding it yourself or whether you're in a container with somebody else. It is this kind of held space, lovingly held space, that where you get to connect with your magic, that activates your magic, and your inspiration, your inner knowing is flowing, and you're bringing the magic, or you're allowing somebody else to activate your magic. And so, you know, if you think about the feminine and masculine energies and the flow. So tell me in the comments, what's your experience with this? Do you love structure? Do you love more free flow? Where do you naturally sit on this spectrum? I'd love to hear from you. And in terms of these feminine and masculine energies, there's a beautiful metaphor that somebody shared with me, which I love, which is like the feminine energies are like the flow of the river, and the masculine energies are like the riverbanks. And so, you know, if the riverbanks are too tight, it restricts the flow. And if there are no riverbanks at all, you have a flood. The energy is kind of all over the place. It's dissipating. It's not channeled in any creative way. And, you know, and the more well-formed the riverbank is, you know, the better the flow. And also the riverbank is created by the flow. And so this is, you know, where we start to bring in the magic and the magic boxes, because the riverbank is created by the flow. The boxes are created by the magic, and they're there designed to hold space for your magic. So I know, you know, if you're like me, many people in my community, you might be working with others, you might be holding space for groups, holding space for clients, bringing your transformation to others in the world. And I know that many people in my community, when you show up for others, and it might be for your children, it might be for your friends, as well as your clients and professionally, but when you show up for others, it's like you're fully present, and your magic, your intuitive energy, your knowing switches on, and you can drop into that space and deliver a great session or really hold space, and your knowing comes through. But it can be harder to create that for ourselves. How do I hold space for myself to activate my magic the way I do more easily with somebody else, you know, live with somebody else? So let me know, left to your own devices, how often do you create from your magic, from your inner knowing in your life or in your business? Or do you sometimes create blocks of time and you show up and nothing really happens, or it's like, oh, this isn't much fun, and so you let it go and you're just more in the moment and free flow, but maybe not showing up as consistently as you would like? So this is often what can happen. And I know I've had this experience myself of doing all this planning and putting all these, you know, I'm going to do this then, and I'm going to do that then. And then, you know, I don't feel like it. I'm not in the mood for that. I'm not feeling the inspiration when it comes time to that. And, you know, and getting allergic to the structure. So, yeah, so let me know if that's you. But with the magic box, what you're doing is you're creating those structures, you know, those boxes, those held spaces for yourself, where you can, you know, bring the magic, where you can create your own rituals, and where you can really open to receive that flow of inspiration and knowing, or just, yeah, enough anyway to get it. So one example I want to give you, I'll share a few stories about this, see what you can connect with here, is one of the things that I would often put on the bottom of my to-do list and take me a long time to get around to was doing my accounts. So the spreadsheets, which are just not so exciting compared to the rest of the work that I do, would often get put in the long finger, and it's like, yeah, I'll get around to that sometime. But then it would create, when I had a few months of catching up to do, that didn't feel so good either, not to be in touch with what was going on in the finances. So what I did was, instead of putting a block of time in, or a task that says I'm updating my accounts, I put in a block of time that was called Sparkling Finances. And so instead of showing up to do my accounts, I'm showing up to hang out with the muses of Sparkling Finances. And also, so that already sets the intention for magic, for kind of, oh, I'm going to create flow, and I'm going to get all of this nice and clean energetically and sparkling. But what I also did to get in the zone to do those tasks is I would put on some beautiful focus music. I would light a candle. I would get some gorgeous dark chocolate, and also invite in the muses of Sparkling Finances. And that really transformed that boring old, oh, do I have to do this, block of time into a magic box, it's like, I am bringing the magic, I'm bringing the chocolate, the music, the candles, the hanging out with the Sparkling Finances music. And it really transformed that, so I could get in the flow, I could feel the energy and how it was supporting me. Another way I was doing it when I was moving house, which is a big task, moving from England to the Netherlands in 2020, I would often, to kind of go, oh, where am I going to live? What kind of house do we want to buy? Where are we going? What do we bring with us? What do we leave behind? There's so many decisions to make. I used to do facilitate some vision planning sessions for myself and my husband, where we would drop in, and I would get us to connect with our future selves and our higher selves, and ask questions. What is it? What size of house is it? Is it this location? Is it this location? We went through all of the furniture in the house. Does this want to come with us or not? So we did those vision sessions, and then there was implementing that. It's like, okay, that decision is made. Let me get on and declutter, let that go, sell that piece of furniture. And it was really powerful way to connect with the magic and then implement from that clear space. So the magic was coming in to clarify those decisions. Another story for me, and this is a hell space where I'm in somebody else's hell space, is a hell space for writing. So I knew I wanted to do more writing from depth. So I signed up to somebody's program where there's a hell space with others. It's a co-creation space. They activate your magic, and then, do some writing there and then, and share it. But it's a beautiful magic box because it's shifting the energy, and then creating from depth. So, and writing from that space. So it's another beautiful example of of a hell space. So if you've got any comments, if you're watching live, just drop in, let me know what you're resonating with, and what's sharing, what your experience is here. What's your experience of creating structures where you get to show up with your magic. And so one of the ways to really get clear with what works for you, because there are ways of planning and taking action and we're all different in this way. So there's a lovely quiz that Gretchen Rubin, who wrote the book The Four Tendencies, has created a simple quiz where you can get connected to what's your tendency when it comes to getting myself to do what I want. So one of her challenges is to say, how do I get people, including myself, to do what I want? And so in these four tendencies, there might be, there's four types. The upholder wants to know what should be done. The questioners want justification. Why should I do this? The obligers need accountability. And the rebels want freedom to do something their own way. So if you're a rebel, you might want to say, okay, I'm going to create my magic boxes, create these blocks of times, but I want to be able to shift them around when I need to. And I want to feel free that I can move those to fit in with my desire for freedom. If you're an upholder, as I just want to be clear on what I have to do, and then I'm going to get on and do it. If you're a questioner, you want to really get connected to the justification, the why. Why am I doing this? Like with me with the finances, I am creating sparkling finances. So you might need to get really clear on your why for doing that so you can show up. Or if you're an obliger, you need accountability. So somebody else. So I'm an obliger, and I'll share the link to that quiz. It's at GretchenRubin.com quiz. Here's the link if you're in the Facebook group. So I'm an obliger, so I will show up for other people. I will show up if I have a deadline. I love that writing group because it's there, it's an accountability with others, and I get to show up. And so how do I do that when there isn't anyone else involved? It's just me. I'm accountable to myself. Well, there's a beautiful thing I love, a co-working space that's free or very low cost called FocusMate.com. And on FocusMate, you can create an appointment to FocusMate.com. So you can create an appointment to show up on video with somebody else, and you say, this is what I'm doing for this 50 minutes or 20 minutes, and they say, this is what I'm doing. You put your videos on mute and you get on and work, and you're connected with people from all over the world, somebody different every time. But it's a held space for accountability, and that works really well for me. I need to bring the magic, but having that accountability, it's like, I need to show up for that. And that's something that I have found really transformational in my business, is booking in those accountability spaces, as well as knowing how to shift and transform my energy for those blocks of times. So tell me in the comments. Pauline is saying, I am actually decluttering at the moment, and I'm finding it a great space to let go and move into a new beginning. Oh, that's really powerful, Pauline. I know from our move a few years ago that actually decluttering is so powerful, and it's so therapeutic. I find it so, it just relaxes me to let go of stuff. I love a nice clear space, but yeah, and it really creates a powerful space for a new beginning. So so let me know what works for you in terms of, do you love feminine energies? Do you love the more masculine energies? And how do you show up to create? What are you taking away from this? And I'd love to just leave you with a poem. As you know, I love to share a poem, and this one, I think you'll resonate with, Pauline. It's all about clearing space for the beautiful things to come in, which is what you're doing, and is what the magic boxes are about. So this is a poem called Clearing by Morgan Farley. I'm clearing a space here where the trees stand back. I am making a circle so open, the moon will fall in love and stroke these grasses with her silver. I am setting stones in the 4 directions, stones that have called my name, from mountaintops and riverbeds, canyons and mesas. Here I will stand with my hands empty, mind gaping under the moon. I know there is another way to live, and when I find it, the angels will cry out in rapture. Each cell of my body will be a rose, a star. If something seized my life tonight, a sudden wind swept through me, changing everything, I would not resist. I am ready for whatever comes. But I think it will be something small, an animal padding out from the shadows, or a word spoken so softly, I hear it inside. It is dark out here and cold. The moon is stone. I am alone with my longing. Nothing is happening but the next breath and the next. So that's a poem called Clearing by Morgan Farley. So let me know what you're taking away from this, and hopefully you're understanding how you can create clearings, create circles or stones in the 4 directions, create space in your life to bring more magic into your life, and where you can show up with intentionality and bring your magic in a way that works for you, that's aligned for you, and that is supportive. So I'd love to, ideal poem for me now, totally, yes. I will find that and copy it into the comments for you later, Pauline, but Clearing, Morgan Farley. So let me know what you're taking away, and if you want any support with this, if you need a hell space for creativity, that's something that I can provide through the coaching. And yeah, I will see you again next week. Oh, Davia, lovely to see you here, Davia. It is a beautiful poem. So that's it for this week, and I'll see you again same time next week. Bye for now.